The second game I played on my Sega Dreamcast is a game that I had a little speech, a little bit of a preamble prepared for when I created this list over a month ago. But times have changed. Times change very quickly. So the second game we'll be playing, as planned, was the second game I ever played on my Sega Dreamcast. And it's a game that up until very recently was available on two consoles. Oh, you know that logo means quality. It was available on the Dreamcast and on the PSP in a collection. Oh, you know what it is? Do you know what it is?
In the 19th century.
Hell yeah, it's the 19th century. People are strong believers of superstition, legends, adventures, fortune and glory, treasure.
Which has
The power to make any dream come true. That treasure is known as the Power Stone. It is Power Stone. I mean, come on. It wouldn't be the Dreamcast without Power Stone. So yeah, this is one of the games that was announced in the Capcom Fighting Game Classic Collection 2. I forget the name of it. But until very recently, this was a pretty difficult game to play. And although that collection is not out yet, I'm very glad that it will be coming out. Because, yeah, this is a cool-ass video game. Now, the back of the case for the US version described Power Stone as being the first go-anywhere, grab-anything fighting game on the planet. I don't know how accurate that is. I would describe this more like a one-on-one beat-em-up. Either way, it kicks ass, and hey, if you were a kid in the American 1990s, late 90s, you probably liked Dragon Ball Z, as I did. But Dragon Ball Z was just getting popular in the West at the time, in America at least. We were very slow. You know, Spain and Latin America and much of Europe already knew how cool Dragon Ball Z was, but we were just learning. Because of this, we didn't really have any Dragon Ball Z games to play, and it was very upsetting. Capcom, however, oh my, they knew Dragon Ball was really cool. So they created this character here. And the whole gimmick with Power Stone is you grab all three Power Stones, you transform. Well, this dude, he turns into Super Saiyan. Get him with those Kamehamehas. Oh, yeah. Hell yes. That was the coolest thing ever. When I was not expecting it, when I had no idea what this game was about, I just put it in my Dreamcast after Pen started playing. All of a sudden, we're going Super Saiyan. We're fighting Jack the Ripper. Man, this game's rad. Power Stone likes should have stuck around. I agree. The late 90s was a very interesting time for fighting games for a lot of reasons. One of which was that you started getting some subversive, little bit different things. By the way, we got a Spirit Bomb. Genki Dama, if you prefer. You know, you're starting to get games like Smash Brothers and 3D fighters were starting to come into their own. And every now and then you'd also get stuff like this, and man, yeah, it kind of sucks that Smash Brothers likes really took off in recent years, because I feel like there is a place for Power Stone. There is absolutely a place for Power Stone clones. Just a nice little small cubicle, well-designed level with all sorts of items popping up. You just smack each other around, man. Oh, I always liked this stage. So some of the staff on this game would go on to work on the Devil May Cry series as well as other Capcom games. But this fountain, once DMC1 came out and they had a big fountain as a iconic fight area, even back then I felt a little of the shared DNA with Power Stone. What do we got here? Oh, we've got a gun! Falcon's having difficulty in the corner. So yeah, I liken this game a lot more to a beat 'em up because of the weapons that you find lying around. It also has a very simple control scheme. You can jump, you can punch, you can kick, you can grab. These are all their own face buttons. It's a pretty straightforward, pretty easy game to play, but there is some difference in the characters, and there's some strategies you can employ. You see Falcon there. He was able to launch himself off of that pole. And I was able to just simply shoot him with a big bazooka. But if you're using a larger character... I'm surprised you can read that text on that sign, wow. If you're using a larger character, instead of swinging around the pole, they'll actually pull it out of the ground, El Gigante style. You've got 2 power moves, one on punch, one on kick, and then you've got your super moves, each being on a separate trigger. And yeah, you just want to get the power stones as quick as possible and just unleash hell. It's a really fun game. Yes, yes, I mentioned that a few minutes ago. How mind-blowing it was picking this character and seeing him literally go Super Saiyan back in an era where there were no Dragon Ball Z games for us. So we had Power Stone, and you know what? We had a good time. We also had Rouge here. And I remember when Sonic Adventure 2 came out, and Nails the Bat, her name was solidified as being Rouge, and I was like, well, that's strange. There's already a Rouge on the Dreamcast. She's in Power Stone. What up with that? Also, Rouge the Bat doesn't even wear rouge. He wears eyeshadow and lipstick. So it's a very strange name, but it's better than Nails, I suppose. The character designs for this game are honestly really good, though. They're just slightly more cartoony versions of a lot of fighting game archetypes. There we go. Had to use the mallet. So, much like a traditional fighting game, you can do throw breaks if you just press the grab button, one grabbed, which is what I did there. It's not a whole lot to be said about the gameplay because it's very simple, but it's very satisfying. This game also would have a sequel the following year in 2000, but I kind of prefer the first one. The sequel, letting you do 4-player, is quite cool. Nope. So that certain power moves can, or super moves, can whiff pretty easily like that and just burn all your meter. So it's not just an instant win. And you can see it's very easy to smack Power Stones out of your opponent. It's a really frantic, crazy game. But I'm gonna do my best to just try and win as many times as possible. Try and get some arcade endings. Because this game does feature arcade endings, because it is a Capcom fighting game. Oh, I burnt up all my meter. There we go. There we go. We're getting those stones. Hurry up! Oh, right. There are time overs. Oh no, she transformed into something that I'm not sure is work safe. So, you know, get ready for those. Yep. Metal nipple tassels. Oh, yes, I remember Power Stone 2. We would make it so we could both be in our super forms with like infinite health, and we would just break out of the stage like comboing each other up in the air. Oh, well, there's the head of Satan. There are a couple extra options you can unlock in these games by clearing the VMU minigames, of all things. I don't know if there's another way to get them, but Rouge might beat us here. Which is a little embarrassing. I remember her being particularly difficult to fight, especially when she's powered up. Yeah, because she has a lot of projectiles. And she's just very aggressive. There we go. There we go. Oh, that didn't knock the stone out of her, though. Well, that did. Yeah, hurry up. That's gonna whiff. So, certain moves, like the Spirit Bomb there, if you do them with more meter left, they'll be more powerful. I won, though, because I had a little bit more health than she did. Yeah, so there's a little strategy in when you want to use your moves. It's not a completely mindless game, but it's one of those games that, you know, when you had a little too much Soul Calibur, maybe a little too much Third Strike, your brain was starting to wind down, you've eaten too many pixie sticks, one too many slices of pizza, a little bit too much Surge. You know, you're like, oh, I don't know, guys, I'm starting to kind of wind down a little bit. And you're like, well, let's just round out the night with a little Power Stone. Gunrock here, not very smart, also has a very similar name to Gunlock from Capcom's own Saturday Night Slam Masters. I don't know why. I don't know why he's got almost the same name. But he does. I always ate pixie sticks with the paper instead of just pouring the Wait! You would eat the paper? You weren't supposed to eat the paper! Did you know you weren't supposed to eat the paper? That's horrifying. The grate up here, you can actually grab onto. Let's just do a giant Spirit Bomb, though. Yeah, you can see the Spirit Bomb there is much larger. He's going to go for that, but he's probably going to get hit. Yeah, because he's an idiot. I'm going to let him go for that Blue Raspberry Power Stone, yeah. There we go. You can air grab and do special little moves like that. There we go. Got him. Easy. He didn't do the follow-up, though, because he died too fast. It just felt better and was less of a mess. What did you do? Just shove the whole stick, the whole pixie stick in your mouth and just, like, let the paper and candy dissolve into a sweet paste? This is concerning. Here's Garuda, another character whose name would be shared with Galuda from Anarchy Reigns, of all things. I always liked this stage. I always thought this was cool. To have this sort of barroom brawl setting. You know, we're in the saloon. We've got barrels and tables and chairs to chuck at each other. Of course, you know, most barroom brawls don't involve Super Saiyans, but these fans you can grab onto and crash them down and hit your opponent, like so. I played a lot of this game. If you couldn't tell. And yes, you can do a dive kick with a pipe. Which is, like, one of the coolest things. Oh, no. Well, we can see Galuda here turns into a totem pole mech. It's a pretty cool design. Again, you can see how he's basically just the same trope as, like, T-Hawk. I'm kind of like Yun and Yang from Street Fighter 3. Not the most original character designs ever, but they're cartoony and fresh, and, you know, their powered-up forms offer them a little more originality. I really like the cast of this game. What they lack in uniqueness, they really get in overall just style and how far the concept is pushed. Oh! As you can see, yeah, Galuda here is sort of the grappler of the game. He and Gunrock are both, like, pseudo-grapplers in the sense that, you know, the controls are very basic, so... like, can you really call them a grappler? When he powers up, he does get projectiles as well, as most characters tend to. Yep, dive pipe. That's the new not at all joke game that we're gonna put way too much stake into and then kind of ruin the whole joke and then make it not fun for anyone. Here's Ayame, the ninja girl from Power Stone, not to be confused with Ayane, the ninja girl from Dead or Alive. Again, you know, not a lot of, or rather, I don't want to say not a lot of originality, because that's not entirely true, but there's a lot of tropes represented in this game, I would say. That's how I would describe the cast. I believe, yes, we can climb up here, and I think there's a way to make these lanterns crash down. But I tend to like very tropey, archetypical characters. And again, given that this is a little more casual friendly, a little more, Oh, well, there's her super form. Of course, she turns into a pink latex ninja for some reason with bunny ears. The design looks very, very Y2K era. Yeah, I do quite like the cast. Even though they're not Capcom's most original, they are very colorful, they're very expressive, they're very memorable in their own right. And I think that's more important than just being... More important than being something I've never seen before is being something that I will see once and remember forever, and this cast does that exceptionally well. Yeah, she has a very cute design. I like her. I do like her powered up form quite a bit too, like a pink bunny ninja. I think it's pretty cool. Again, the characters definitely shine more in their powered up states. It really just drives home the idea of the character. And some of them are very cool. Falcon's we didn't get to see, but he turns into a, sort of like a tokusatsu airplane man, because he's a pilot. It's really cool. So yes, this game is going to be in the Capcom. What I'm just gonna call. I mean, let's be honest. Short of one game, it's It's the Capcom Dreamcast collection. Like, that's all it is. The Capcom Dreamcast fighting game collection that's coming out early next year, I believe, is the release date. And it's going to have net play. Those collections all have net play. And I'm looking forward to that. I'm going to say... She won. I'm going to say, see me in Power Stone to all of you here. Because you might say, well, you've got the game right here, why not just continue to play that? But it's like, I would like to send the message to Capcom that I will buy more Power Stone and Tech Romancer and another game that we'll be playing today. You'll see which game. You'll see which game. There's some faux real-time lighting going on with the texture work in this stage that I think looks quite nice. This is another one of those games where, the projectiles. Where I'm not really sure how you would do a modern version of this visually, Because there was, as mentioned before, an anime that I've never actually seen, believe it or not. I've never seen the Power Stone anime. Though I was aware of it. And it makes me wonder, well, would you just go with a cel-shaded look? Try and match the character artwork? Because I could see that work. But, honestly, the game still looks pretty nice. It doesn't look like what my brain... When I hear this game's 25 years old, my brain doesn't go to visuals like this. It's very Dreamcast looking, especially in the textures, but it's not really missing anything, 3D models with shaders that make it look 2D. Yeah, that's what I imagine. So that move right there are walls to the stages where if you press the grapple button, I guess I'll just call it, against the wall, you'll bounce off and do a move like that. I mentioned Soul Calibur being another game that I had early on. Full disclosure, I won't be playing that today because I want to do a full stream through of all of the content in that like I did with Soul Blade. But it was interesting playing this and then playing Soul Calibur and seeing some of the same tropes in characters, such as we got a Pirate Man here. And we've got our Pirate Man with his pirate stage. We've got a bomb right in our face as I accidentally punch my microphone trying to adjust my headphones. Oh, look at that happy skeleton man. Now, of course, we had a ninja girl. There's a samurai man. There's a lot of really similar concepts in the cast. And it's very fun seeing them done in a more, fantasy setting, but with a degree of historical accuracy in Soul Calibur, and then full-on cartoon nonsense here. Again, it was one of those things that just gave the Dreamcast itself such a vibe. You would have games that, would have similar concepts and similar setups. Again, a lot of fighting games, a lot of very action-y things, even a lot of survival horror games. But their gameplay and style would be uniquely their own. It's quite different from nowadays where virtually every game has the same level of visual fidelity and the same type of gameplay, and it's probably why a lot of people go back to these games and really, really enjoy them, because not only are they unique from each other, they're completely unique compared to things we've got nowadays. You know, even non-traditional fighting games that are made nowadays tend to be a little too technical. They're not just wacky and fun like this. You know, this is not a very balanced, very mechanical, depthy game. And it doesn't need to be. You know, yeah, I can just do the same bounce off the wall against the CPU a bunch of times and just get my power stones and just Kamehameha his face point blank as he gets crashed around by an anchor and then a spirit bomb hits him. And, like, what am I doing, like, mechanically there? Not much. But boy, it's fun. It is a good time. And that's all it needs to be. That's certainly a design there, Kraken. Yeah, he's a little weird looking. If you look at his character artwork in his human form, rather than a eye patch, he's actually just missing much of the skin and muscle from his face and has an exposed skull. It's kind of gross. Anyway, here's the secret boss, Valgus. Look at him. He's kind of like Super Saiyan Ganondorf as a biker. I don't know much what to think about Valgus. I don't really know his lore or anything. But he's pretty cool looking. He looks like a boss character. He's very large. He is, of course, unlockable. As is Kraken. They're not part of the base roster, but get enough, Oh no! He grabbed me as I tried to do my spirit bomb. He's too strong. You know, he does the part of boss character pretty well. He's also destroying me. And of course, yes, his powered form is basically just the devil trigger. He ran into a bomb. What an idiot. Ah, but he threw his throne at me. Oh no. He looks like tough guy that immediately becomes a joke in any shonen. You know what he looks like? If you remember if you've ever... We're just getting all the obscure pulls. Oh, I forget the character's name, but the rival character from the anime Needless, who fought using like explosive fire punches and had like a Bancho appearance. He has a very similar look to this guy, like the tan skin and the spiked up blonde hair. The Gallo Sengen look, really. No, Salten was the secret final boss guy. I want to say Gamaguri, but that's the guy from Kill la Kill that also kind of has the same vibes as this dude. He beat me, by the way. He is a Capcom boss, but we can continue. Mario with Wonton again. There we go. That air stomp is quite useful. And if I can get him to cooperate. Yep, there we go. What? Huh? Hey, it didn't do the follow-up. What's up with that? He's way too strong. Yes, I remember SNK boss. I remember that being a term. Thanks to, Mukai and whoever the hell the guy was in KOF 11. I cannot remember his name for the life of me. Of course, the lovable Ignis, too, was one of those. Who can forget the lovable Ignis? Man, Vulgus is destroying me. That's fine. We still got half an hour. I am very serious, though. Once that Capcom collection comes out, see me in Power Stone. You ever see a Super Saiyan with a flamethrower? He's trying to... Oh, the turnaround punch. Oh, no, canceling out my... Oh, please get away from that bomb. Canceling out my cube with his own cube. It is funny to see this disciplined young kung fu expert using a Geneva Convention banned weapon. Groove Adventure Rave on Dolphin. Wow. You know something? Oh, he grabbed me out of my little super dash again. Wow. His grab is very strong. As are his cubes. And his balls. Oh, we might need to lock in. What is the new collection coming out on? Everything. As far as I know. I believe it's coming out on just about everything. There's no reason to make stuff not come out on everything nowadays. Oh no, what's this? A fighting game? Where the final boss has a secret second form and he absorbed not only the Chaos Emeralds, but the Master Emerald as well? And look at this thing. He turns into, not only is it a big G-Creature biohazard, it also has moves almost identical to Nightmare from... Oh god. From Devil May Cry 1. Like, literally almost identical. This thing looks and moves and fights so much like Nightmare, it's hilarious. Do I know when the collection's coming out? I think it's early next year. Boop. I've never really puzzled out how to completely avoid taking damage from this guy. Oh, he puked on me. Oh, he fisted me. Oh no. There we go. You can see he's got Vulgus's outstretched face on his weird monster face. Again, he's very G-Virus. Hey, we did it, though. Oh, you goofball. That's not the treasure at all. I miss these kind of arcade endings where they're just like a little slice of the character's life there. Now, granted, none of this would be elaborated on ever because Power Stone 2 had basically no plot line, and this series didn't really get followed up upon. But check it out. There's the tornado. Yep. That's right, another active Sky Chase zone. No, just kidding. It's Falcon, flying off into the credits. The sky is blue and above everyone's head it's fair above us all. Just like the sky, I feel like my soul is becoming clear too. The legendary Dark Knight Dante and his sidekick. Anyway, yeah, like I said, a lot of shared Devil May Cry DNA in this game. But that's it. Hey, we beat Power Stone once. Now, I don't know if we unlock anything for that, but we can inscribe our glorious name here. As they say. Ika. We are a squid, after all. A new feature has been added. Let's see what that feature is. Power Stone Collections. Special prizes. Ah! Look at that. Hey. So each character has their own weapon that they get for beating the game that will spawn randomly in any mode. And yeah, would you look at that? The character who has a golden-haired super form that fires off ki blasts and has a gigantic energy orb. He's got an extending bow staff. Huh. I wonder if maybe, perhaps, he is inspired slightly by Goku. And of course, we don't have anything else because, you know. Oh, but we can watch the movies. We can watch any endings we've gotten. Extra options. So this is a fun thing too. You unlock extra options. You can give yourself more power stones. You can, I believe if you do Power Gates timer off, you just have infinite, time in your super form. You can increase the amount of damage you deal when you're transformed. You can also increase or decrease the amount of damage you take. A lot of fun stuff. You can do some absolute goofy nonsense with this. But we've got time for, one more playthrough, or at least most of one more playthrough. And since we didn't see him, I'm going to pick Ryoma, because Ryoma was pretty cool. There is a setting for round timers, but that's in the regular options, not the extra options. So, Ryoma is our resident samurai, very Mitsurugi-esque. He was, next to Wangtang, my favorite character to use. Because he's got a samurai sword. Oh! And there's our power pole. There's our power pole. And of course, we turn into Silver Samurai, and we can Judgment Cut. So he's a pretty fun character, because, yeah, he's got a sword. I mean, what more do you need? Jack there is also a pretty fun character. He's very Jack the Ripper inspired, and again, I said I likened this game very much to Soul Calibur with its cast of, you know, historical-based warriors from around the world. Again, even though he's more Jack the Ripper inspired. Oh, summon swords! Heavy rain swords! Look at these Devil May Cry moves in the making. Yeah, even though Jack is obviously inspired by Jack the Ripper, I always felt he was a little Voldo-ish in his just creepy nature and, you know, his bladed attacks. Anyway, here's like a Judgment Cut end sort of thing. Not quite as spectacular, but, you know. You know, let's take a look, actually, at the rest of the cast. Just do a round as each of them. Poor Jack is going to get beat up several times, but that's fine. So the face of the game is Falcon. He's known as Fokker. Oh, we do have a different setup. Okay, okay. We're not just going to be bullying Jack. That's good. Falcon is known as Fokker in Japan, which is an aviation reference. It's the name of a plane. But they knew better. They knew we're not gonna name him Fucker for the English release. We're gonna call him Falcon. So whatever name you know him by, he's pretty alright. And his power form is very cool, like I said. He's basically like a jet plane tokusatsu man. He fires missiles. He does Shinryuken. He fires lots of missiles. I believe he's a boxer in his lore. So his punches are pretty good. Kind of want to lead with those much of the time. Or you could just lead with a big sword. Oh, but Gunrock doesn't like it. Gets us with the backbreaker. Just because he's a boxer doesn't mean he doesn't know how to do a good dive kick, though. I mean, come on. Gotta know how to do a good dive kick if you're in a big game like this. Yes, that's something I've talked about before. Virgil kind of has more lasting effect on action games than Dante has, strangely enough. There's not a lot of characters that borrow moves directly from Dante, or at least not so directly from Dante in the way that moves and entire move sets are taken from Virgil. I feel like there's a couple reasons for that, but one of them is just simply that where Dante is like an all-arounder, Virgil is very clearly themed, so it's easier to just take from him wholesale. Dante is a little harder to, you know, take an entire moveset from. Often you'll see some gunslinger shenanigans, but they're not usually paired up with a broadsword. You could easily take Navon's moveset, though, and expand a whole character from that. And I've not really seen that ever, which is kind of shocking. Alright, we've taken a look at Falcon. No Winter Soldier here. But there is Ayame, the cute, energetic ninja girl. This is also the era where you would often just get two girls in the game. You'd get the cute girl and you get the sexy girl. And well, here's their showdown. Which do you prefer? All women are queens is the only answer I'll accept. Wow, they really like giving me this weapon now that I've unlocked it. And here we go. So we've got our triple shuriken. We've got a weird teleport uppercut. And we've got that crazy thing, which is just absolutely broken. I feel like Ayame doesn't really offer much in her regular form. But when she's powered up, when she's in Super Ninja mode, you kind of just immediately die. Also the kind of thing where you could give someone Agni and Rudra moves and it would be like, hey, Twin Blades user over hey, a Dante. Yeah, Dante is much more an all-arounder. Now, I will say, when I see a character that has a sword, and they have Stinger, High Time, and Helmbreaker, that to me is, I would say that to me is the Dante moveset. If you've got a forward-moving, like, piercing thrust, a launcher that can be held to follow up the enemy, and a big downward slash, that is the Dante moveset to me. Oh, I meant to do her other power move. Well, I'll probably get the chance to, because the other stone is right here. I think it's like a darkness illusion sort of thing. Yeah, it's like a, you have to dash into them. And I think it's basically darkness illusion. Let's see if I can pull it off. Let's see. Nope. You're much better off just going with the big shuriken move. Most iconic Dante moves are like Rainstorm and Prop Shredder. Yeah, visually. Again, for me, I go to Stinger, High Time, Helmbreaker. You have to have all three, and if you've got all three, then to me it counts as like, okay, they're Dante.
Challenge 1. Are you ready? Action!
Boop.
Welcome to Power Stone War. Now.
Wang Tong, of course, we've seen. Gunrock. He's a big guy. For you. He's got a goatee and he's wearing a bandana. He's a kindred spirit of mine because of that. I'm not quite that large, though. He's a bit thicker than I. I'm a little faster than he is, though. I'll say that. Oh, look! Well, she did the move that I couldn't quite pull off. So yes, here's what I was saying. Large characters, they can pull out these, large things and, use them as a bat. I feel like the large, slow characters are just at a genuine disadvantage in this game, though. Sure, they're powerful, but as you're seeing, you know... He's got a butt stomp. As you're seeing, that doesn't really mean much if you can't get the power stones. Which tends to be just a bit of a very speed-based task. But here we go. Look at that. We've turned into the thing. We can throw rocks. We can crash. Oh, she can grab us. I always felt like Gunrock wasn't very good. Just due to his slow speed. However, this move is quite good. Just fills the whole screen with rocks. His throw's not so great. Oh, there we go. We got her, though. Yeah, so there's Gunrock. He's a little underwhelming. Part of what makes Ayame so scary is that, like I said, she's not too much of a threat in her normal form, aside from her speed. But because of her speed, she can get the Power Stone so quickly that she just, yeah, does this, and you kind of die very quickly against her. You know, all that strength Gunrock has doesn't really do much for him when he can't get those Power Stones. Alright. Look at this. We can turn big. We can roll around at the speed of stone. Doesn't do much for us, though. There we go. I sure want to be the slow guy in a game where grabbing items leads to victory. Yeah. He can be quite effective, but again, it requires a little planning, a little stratagem.
Are you ready? Welcome to
He's not my go-to. Jack, on the other hand, he's pretty fun. He's a cool dude. In general, he's just a very recognizable design. But for 2, yeah, look, he crawls around on the ground. Again, very Voldo-like. Now, this is a game where its inspirations oftentimes are very obvious. It makes me wonder if he's not at least partially inspired by Voldo. And his powered form is very cool. It's a little hard to tell, but he's sort of like in a sarcophagus a little bit. He's kind of our stretchy limb character, our freak pick Dalsim sort of type. A little more on the Necro side, of course, because he is so bizarre. But he does do that sort of Dalsim spin drill thing. And we got that crazy helicopter move that can... You know, you can get away from it, but if you're in his range, it'll hit you. He's also very fast when he crawls around, as you can see. Far cry from Gunrock. His voice is also very, like, cute for a character who's, like, based on a notorious serial murderer. I don't know what's up with that. He's kind of just a little guy. And now he's just a little dead. Need to see a timeline with Jack, Voldo, and Mummymon. That's a hell of a timeline. I feel like I speak for everyone when I say that I really wish the Capcom and Namco partnerships had worked out a little better. There's a couple good games in there, but there's a couple, you know, stinkers and then some vaporware. I almost said vaporwave. That's a different type of vapor. But I would have really loved to see some Power Stone characters and Soul Calibur characters go up against each other, just because some of them are so similar, but so, you know, different. And of course, his other super move. One that'll just hit you no matter what. Good old heavy rain swords. Oh, that didn't explode for some reason. Oh yeah, he can kind of helicopter a little bit too. I forgot about that. Well, you get the she's gonna win, but you get the idea of Jack. He's pretty fun once you get the hang of him. Two more, Galuda, and of course Rouge herself. Galuda's pretty alright. He's faster than Gunrock. So, you know, he's just a lot more fun to play as. Now, I mentioned before the lighting and texture work in this game, and this stage does look very nice still. So our attacks, we've got triple arrow shot. We've got that crazy thing. That was our super move that whiffed. It's a grab, because he's a grappler. Sort of. Let's see if I can get it off. Ah, there we go! It's pretty cool. It is genuinely pretty cool when it actually lands. Okay. The Royal Restaurant. Alright. And here's our other super move. It's raining down a bunch of arrows. So he's alright. Again, my favorites were always historically Wangtung and Ryoma because, again, I was a kid when this game came out. I liked the Kung Fu Man and the Samurai Man. As was the style at the time. There we go. We have succeeded. We've defeated the white man. And now we've got one more character. Let's check out Rouge, of course. She's probably the most popular character from this game for obvious reasons. For obvious reasons. We don't need to get into why. Hey, just look at her. Just look at her. You get it. You get it. She has a pretty good design, though. I do like her. She's a very fast character, again, which is nice. This stage as well I always quite liked. It's a bit of a vignette of a snowy samurai scene. And yes, she does have a magic carpet attack because it was still 90s Capcom. Ah, here's the Darkness Illusion move. Yes, I knew there was one that basically looked like Darkness Illusion. Oh no. Oh no, indeed. It is funny how quickly you can smack the Power Stones out of each other. As Ryoma is expertly demonstrating here. Alright, so again, she's got two of her own super moves. Oh, well. Actually, I believe Rouge has 3 super moves. And yes, you can get up on the roof here. It's very cool. He's having difficulties doing it. So she's got a grounded version. Yes, that's the grounded version of her L Super. The air version of her L Super is the big Satan head that she summons. I don't know why she's got 3 moves. Oh no, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. The air R Super is the Satan head. So I'm going to have to try and pull that off, even though we've seen her do it quite a few times. It is her sort of go-to. Yep, there it is. Just summon a giant Satan head for some reason. I don't know what's up with that. I don't know why she's got 3. It's very strange. It's not too uncommon to have unique air supers in more complex fighting games, but this is not a more complex fighting game. All I can imagine is someone just really wanted to give her Darkness Illusion. So they went with that. And let's just... Oh! Oh! Alright, well, Satan head it is. And there we go! We have defeated Ryoma. We've taken our look at Power Stone. So glad this game is getting a, Oh, we have not defeated Ryoma yet, but that's fine. That's fine. We've taken our look at Power Stone for an hour. Very glad that this game is getting a re-release with online. I certainly will be playing it, and I hope you will be too. But that's it for Power Stone. We're going to move on to our next game.